Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Instagram. Oh, where are you? There you are. Good morning, Instagram. Instagram's here. What's happening? TikTok. Let's open TikTok again.
I think horror actors are some of the best actors because you have to put yourself in something like.
Let's go live. The daily. There it is. At a certain point, an acting career stops being magical thinking and starts being research. Good morning. This is the Daily, the morning report from the Working Actor NYC. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Wherever you are, whatever you're working on, let me know where you are in the world and what you're working on in your acting career today. Yeah, you realize nobody is going to manage your career for you. They can help, but somebody has to care enough to connect the dots, and that somebody is you. I have always believed that nobody is going to care about your career more than you do. So whether you have representation, whether you have a manager, whether you have an agent, it's really up to you to get the work done. And let me explain exactly why I'm talking about this. I recently asked my agent for my submission report. They call it a talent report, which is hilarious to me. Like there's a report card on my talent. Does Benjamin get an A in talent? I don't know. You tell me. But it made me giggle. Anyway, I call it a submission report. For those of you who don't know, submission report is a submission report is a report that a log that your agent or your representation keeps of what they've submitted you for. The project, the role, the project, the casting director. I've got mine right here. This is what it looks like at my representation. So we've got the project, the role, the casting director, the date and time of the submission, who it was submitted by, my agent, whether or not there was an audition, whether or not there was a callback, and whether or not there was an EcoCast self-tape that is specific to breakdown services or actors access, depending on which side of it you are facing. But your submission report gives you so much information because if you are like me and you want to get as familiar with your career as possible, this tells me who the casting directors that I'm being submitted to, the names of the casting directors that I'm being submitted to, who did not call me in for an audition. That's great information because now I can find out. Now I can get some names. Now we've got something to work on. Now we've got something to work towards. I had never heard of Ross Schenker, and I've been submitted for 2 projects. I'm probably not allowed to tell you what they are. But he's working on 2 projects. Oh no, it's the same project, just different roles. Okay, fair. I had no idea who Ross Schenker was. Now I've got Ross Schenker on my radar, so that as I'm looking at classes and workshops that I can attend, panels that I can go to, I'm even going to make a photo page of casting directors that I am not familiar with. Some casting directors, I've seen them on panels and whatever, so I know what they look like, but casting directors are behind the scenes, so they're not necessarily forward facing. And if I can find a photograph of them, that way I can keep an eye out, because what I am going to be doing is attending a lot of events as part of the Tribeca Festival. I'm playing the lead in a short film called Daddy's Little Meatball that is screening 3 times during the Tribeca Festival. I've got myself a festival industry pass, so I'm going to be attending as many events as I can during the first couple of weeks of June. And I'm going to keep my eyeballs open for casting directors that I'm going to put on my face page. And honestly, I'm not going to be shy about it. I I kind of want to. I don't know whether or not anybody has a strategy for attending film festivals, so I'm making my own up. And mine is going to involve having a face page of casting directors, so that I can keep my eyeballs out for Ross Schenker. I don't think Katarina Eggman is going to be there. So, well, what I'm saying is your submission report is like a series of clues, and you can use it to do some detective work on your own. And that's exciting to me. I am a nerd. I am not gonna lie. I am a total nerd. I love doing research, and honestly, it helps me feel like I'm doing something that I haven't done before in order to move my career forward. Does that make sense? Let me know if that resonates with you. I want to hear what you're working on in your acting career. So the submission report took me down all kinds of pathways and trajectories. For example, I'm not submitted for it, but I was looking up different casting directors. Kim Coleman comes up. Kim Coleman is a legendary casting director who does all of the casting for Tyler Perry's. Uh, I don't know if she does all of it, but she does a lot of casting for Tyler Perry. So that's fascinating to me that I'm being submitted to Kim Coleman. She did not call me in, but I am interested that Kim Coleman is somebody that I need to put onto my outreach list so that I can start to put my name into that office and become part of that ecosystem so that my name becomes familiar so that the next time my headshot and resume hits Kim Coleman's desk or Kim Coleman's office, I should say, that it's familiar and not unknown to them. Um, I've just got to do what I can, and I'm not going to, put bet my life savings on it, but I do what I can, and what more can I be doing? The question I'm always asking myself is, what more can I be doing? But I mean, this took me down some deep research that I find fascinating. For example, I had no idea that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was still recording, was still going. They have shot 17 seasons. They're preparing for their 18th season. 18 seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I don't say that because it's I do say that because it's surprising, because I don't know of another comedy that. Here's the fun fact. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the longest running live action sitcom in television history. You know that? Do you know that? So, uh, there's your fun fact for the day. But I wouldn't have known that without my submission report to take me down who's the casting director for all these different projects and what are they working on. And turns out It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Wait, who was it? Wendy O'Brien? Yeah, Wendy O'Brien is the casting director for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now, Wendy O'Brien is here's the other thing that I've sort of found interesting for my submission report. Wendy O'Brien is clearly a very well-known casting director in Los Angeles. Um, that office, and I don't know if it's specifically her or other people within her office, but that office is doing a lot of work. And Abbott Elementary, Happy's Place, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Lincoln Lawyer. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of known like projects we've heard of coming out of that office, but I've never heard the name Wendy O'Brien before. Does that make me bad? But I'm not Los Angeles based, so I have always focused on New York City based. So I'm fascinated that I'm getting submitted for. She's clearly Yeah, I couldn't for the title of this project, I couldn't find on IMDb Pro, so I don't know anything about it, but it must be shooting in New York. Um, Otherwise my agent wouldn't have submitted me for it. It must be in a market where I'm viable. But that's the sort of deep nerdy research that I'm getting into, and if I can find an email address for Wendy O'Brien, I don't think, no, there isn't one there, but I'll see if I can find something for that office, and then add it to my outreach list because clearly I need to add Los Angeles to my pile of casting directors that I need to have awareness of, and they need to have awareness of me. So I encourage you. I have heard stories of some agents not wanting to release a submission report or talent report to their clients. My agent has no problem with it because it's not something that I'm being resentful of him for. I do have a friend who is just like, I haven't had an audition in 6 months, right? Which is an exaggeration, but there's some truth to it. Hi, Cookie. I get Unk, but I don't know about Grandpa. Um, uh, Hi, Angela. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career today. I'm just talking about my submission report and how some agents don't love sharing submission reports with actors. I'd be interested to learn more about why not. For me, it's hi, sir. How's your day today? Albert, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I have some travel in my future, so I'm just trying to wrap things up on this end so that we can get out the door. But uh, we are. Thanks, Albert. Appreciate it. Let me know what you're working on in your acting career so we can talk about it. But I've got, yeah, I mean, what a deep well of research that can be gleaned from your submission report. And to find out which casting directors are you're being submitted to but are not being called in for, because there's a whole lot of that gives me something to work on. I'm always saying, what more could I be doing? That gives me something to work on. All right, friends. I am going to wrap it up. Remember, wherever you are in your acting career, you got this. Keep going. And I will be right back here on YouTube and Facebook tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I'll see you then. Thanks for being